Well, I actually been farming full-time, farming and ranching full-time since I graduated in May 2009 from South Dakota State University. And I've been able to have a corn, soybean, wheat, and rye, kind of a grain rotation, and following my small grain rotation, I've been able to plant cover crops, which have been able to graze along with crop residue. We've been able to graze with cattle. We're kind of interested in the soil health benefits and the soil health, trying to build soil health. It came from my role model, my dad. In the short term, you can do practices that may be profitable in a couple years and gain you more profit in the short term. But in the long term, really the gain is making the soil better and making it better than when you first took it over. And so if you can really look at that long term, what is that long term benefit is really more profitable than just several years of short term mining the soil. Getting cattle back on cropland, using our crop residue, planting cover crops when there isn't a season-long crop growing, grazing that stubble, getting the livestock nutrients back onto the soil is really a whole picture, a whole circle type of really the holistic approach to making the farming and ranching businesses work together and be profitable over the long term. I rent about probably about 85% and own the other 15%, and so I really have to make that connection with the people I rent the land from, that I'm a young guy. I might not be able to pay you top dollar rent, but I'm sure going to try and take care of it, because I would like to have the possibility to buy that land in the future, or at least make it better, so that if I do have a chance to buy the land, I'm not having to play catch up. I'm actually starting off on a good note. The benefit that I'm adding is maybe increasing the organic matter in the soil, or planting a cover crop, or increasing the soil health, or not mining the resources, but adding to them. And so I see that as there's quite a bit of economic benefit from that maybe the generation I rent from doesn't see that, but I'm working towards educating them about it. I think you probably can change their mind. And so if I was talking to a landowner that was having conversing with their tenant on trying to promote soil health, or trying to sway the way they're doing things, I think it really needs to come down to the landowner needs to say, I see a huge, or I see other neighbors trying these practices. Would you be open to trying to raise cover crop, or add a small grain to a corn and bean rotation? And I think that really does work for some of the land that we rent. The landowners saw that we were conservation minded. We were going to take care of the resources. We weren't going to overstock. We were going to leave cover to catch snow in the winter. We were going to delay turnout if the grass wasn't growing very quick in the spring. Just small things like that kind of meshes our mindset together, and kind of give us a chance to really work, and so the landowner's benefiting and the tenant's benefiting. And if you can mesh that mindset together, those are relationships that work. If you're interested in cover cropping or soil health, now with the South Dakota Soil Health Coalition, there are voices for soil health people scattered throughout the state that are really open and willing to talk about soil health and different soil health techniques. I think there's really a lot of education out there, but for a landowner that's really interested in it, I would really suggest that they talk to a Voices for Soil Health or go to their local conservation district or their local NRCS office and really make a connection there, see if there's maybe a program that would work for you, or maybe educational programs that you could go to and get more information on, so that you can become more educated and kind of work towards it in the future. As we're working through drought years, it becomes more and more important to hold on to every bit of moisture that you can. And when you see water pooling in fields or water running off fields and running into our creeks and streams, that's water that you've lost the opportunity to use that water. The landowner and tenant, if they're just coming or happening on to trying to improve their soil health, they need to be open-minded, they need to be flexible, and they need to be willing to try new things.